From the heart of the city, straight to your radio. Honest, intimate, real. This is where love gets real and real gets deep. It's not just talk, it's the Love Talk Show. Are you ready? Then let's dive in right now.
Isn't it natural to want reassurance from someone you care about?
It is perfectly natural to want reassurance from someone that you care about. I mean, if you care about them, that means you're planning a future with them. You're planning ideas with, of things that you're going to do together. So reassurance, security is very important, and it's a natural desire. I think the point where reassurance becomes unfair pressure on the other person is when it is continuous, because unless there's a reason to doubt or trust the person, there's a reason to trust the person's faithfulness, unless there's a reason, right? But if there's no reason, if everyone's going about with their life and you're always looking for reassurance, then the issue is not with the person, but it's obviously with the person who's always needing reassurance, is always needing something extra. And such a person, if you join your life with them, I'm sure they will never be happy. They'll always have something you have to deal with, even when there's no problem. I believe, my thoughts, is that when a person is by themselves, they need to have a purpose. When you have a purpose, especially with God, and you're pursuing that purpose, because of your purpose, you're refining your identity, you're refining yourself, you're working on yourself. So in that case, if you find that you're not offending or hurting anybody, then you're good. You just keep on moving. But if there is a hole in the individual, then there will always be need for reaffirmation from external people. And anyone who joins their life to that type of individual is in for some hard work, because we need to be good by ourselves first. And I think that comes with knowing our purpose, as well as a few other things.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Hello everyone, the Love Talk Show is on air, and as every single day, we are bringing topics related to your love life. And every day myself, Peter, and my wife Andrea, we are here sharing a few experiences and what we have seen that can help and has been helping couples and people who are single.
Hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome once again to the Love Talk Show. And the question that arises today is the following. Do they still like me? Wanting validation, seeking for validation. What do you think about this? For sure, something went through your mind when we spoke about this and we started this program asking, do they still like me?
There are people who are looking for validation all the time. They are looking for approval. They are looking for praise. They are looking for, words, compliments, and even actions that are proving that they have a kind of value. We are going to talk about this today in today's Love Talk Show. If you know anyone who maybe struggles with it, let them know about the Love Talk Show.
Nowadays, everyone seeks to be verified on social media. But what about being validated in real life? Are you that kind of person that constantly needs validation, overthinking every single behavior just to see if it's good enough?
But do you think I actually look nice?
I already told you, you look fine. The truth is, no one likes to have to reassure someone all the time, especially in a relationship. Am I still pretty? Am I good enough? Would you still love me if I was a worm? But today, we'll be talking more about this topic, about validation dependency, so that you can learn to be assured within yourself and within your relationship.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Well, when we talk about validation, when we are talking about the person have this persistent need of being or receiving a kind of approval, or how loved they are, or how much we appreciate their company, sometimes can be connected a little bit with low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem. Sometimes the person, while growing up, was not reassured or was constantly asked to change or compared to others, and this can come from that type of roots. I was thinking that it's the Love Talk Show. We talk about relationships, but this can also involve family members, for example, comparison with siblings, or we can talk even about and include this subject in related to the workplace, because sometimes the person needs reassurance. I'm not enough, I'm not doing a good job, or what are people thinking about me. So this topic we can actually relate to all the areas of our life, our social life, because it's about a little bit about insecurity and, like you were even mentioning, low self-esteem, and it can affect relationships in all areas of our life.
We can see that Amora is around.
Oh, she's coming.
Let's see what Amora has to say today.
In my humble opinion, when someone continually seeks reassurance, it often indicates they were not given consistency in the past. By asking these questions, they help protect themselves from experiencing similar situations again.
Well,
Amora, always very introspective.
So what do you have to say about Amora's opinion today?
So by asking ourselves this question, she meant, and do they still like me? Do they still love me? So this implies like insecurity, and imagine this also brings up a lot of overthinking. Imagine I'm here with my husband, he's minding his own business or worried about something, imagine, and then I'm overthinking here. What is he thinking? Is he thinking about what I've said a minute ago? Or in my workplace, what is this person? The person didn't talk to me the way that they usually do. Oh, maybe I did something, did this. So I don't think Amora is being very consistent in the sense of thinking, because if you always like this, wondering, you will suffer a lot.
Well, it's important in a relationship that we are validating the person that is next to us. We are reassuring that we love them, that we care for them, how important they are in our lives. But this is not what we are talking about. We are talking about a person who depends on this, whose mood is depending on this. The person is only happy or feels well
or reassured
when people are praising what they do, who they are, or how much they are loved by those who are surrounding them. If the person doesn't have this, so the mood of this person changes, the self-confidence changes, the way they relate with people changes. If they are being, admired by others and they are being the center of the conversations and people are saying how pretty or how good they are on that day, they are very enthusiastic and very well. But if in a different day there is no one else doing this, and this doesn't mean necessarily a person is doing something wrong, but the mood goes down, and the person thinks that they are not being valued and they are not being loved. Well, talking about this, I would like to share and talk to you about a very special meeting that we have on Thursdays. Pay attention to this video.
What made you initially start coming?
To help in terms of relationships with my family. And obviously it's helped since I've been coming.
And what is the changes that you've seen? How has your family grown?
Well, in terms of when I go out and I buy stuff, I also take them into consideration. Even if I'm just getting food, then I'll get some from my mum, get some from my brother, I'll get some from my dad. Obviously beforehand, I didn't think to do so, but with love therapy, it's obviously taught me that I need to take into consideration other people. So yeah, family seen that and then they're very grateful.
So would you say the love therapy is something that's been helping you?
100%.
What was your favorite kind of lesson that you've learned so far in the past 6 months?
Say my favorite, or the one that's probably helped me, is when I remember Bishop was speaking about how people can get angry in the moment and make rash decisions. But of course, we have to understand that maybe when they're not of God yet, that's normal for them to react like that. And we have to be understanding and be the light in the darkness, if you will. So that I've taken on board, and that's definitely helped me to, like, obviously I don't react in a rash way as well. So maybe that.
Why has the love therapy become a part of your routine? Why do you come back every Thursday?
So I come back, like I said, I've seen improvements in myself, of course. And I know that in the future, if I am to look for a relationship or even to help my family, that this is where I need to start from. Because I'd say before coming to love therapy, I think that I had the mindset that I'm ready whenever, or it's more of like a financial issue rather than me being prepared mentally and spiritually. So because of that, seeing how far that I was, now learning that I can be better, and there's always room for improvement. I'd say that, and obviously to pass on to other people as well.
What would you say to this person that's watching you right now and they've stopped coming to the love therapy, or they don't come at all?
I'd say to come back or start. Of course, like I said, they're not taking any loss. It's only going to benefit yourself, and there's always room for improvement. You may think that you're well where you are, but the lessons that we get taught here, we won't learn from somewhere external. But here, it tells you how to love the way that Jesus wants you to love. And there's no better place than to learn here in the love therapy.
Want to experience the love therapy for yourself? Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. at 232 Seven Sisters Road, Finsbury Park. You'll be inspired.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
And this is what people, they are, how can I say, witnessing and experiencing. And we have more who are attending the love therapy. And when we were talking about validation, when people, they are always with their question mark in their minds, do they still love me? Do they still care for me? When they need to, to receive this confidence from people who are around them, we are bringing a question mark that I think it's extremely important. And when others are not there, and when they are not, people, they do not have anyone around them to praise them, to comfort them, to strengthen them, to motivate them, to praise them, to give them what they need, what is going to happen. So we see one of the biggest things, Andrea, that we've seen when a couple get together, there's chemistry, there's a connection. But one of the things that brings this connection is the assurance the person has, is the goals they have, is the perspective of life, is the determination, how willing they are to do something. So they see, determination, they see strength, they see vision, they see things that they want to have also, or that will be connected to them. But how a person will start a relationship with someone that is already not knowing if they like themselves or not?
And usually partners of insecure individuals report feeling suffocated or emotionally exhausted because the person seeks that validation, and like you were mentioning, and when that someone else is not there to validate. It's like, for example, placing our strength and our hopes on something that is perishable, so something that perishes. So for example, I have this tablet and I place all my strength, all my hope on this, but this perishes. Eventually I won't have it anymore. So that's why we need to invest on our inner, on ourselves.
If you are depending on someone also, this person also has his own days or her own days.
Yes.
We have also our own problems. Even if we are a couple that we love each other and we live together and we care for each other, it's not all the time that we are praising each other.
In a good mood.
Yeah. And what would be the pleasure of listening or receiving a kind of compliment or praise if we were all the time there saying it? We have the other side too. We have the difficulties, we have the challenges, and we have the moment of praise, obviously. But if we are depending, if we are a kind of emotionally addicted to this, depending on this, we are not making the person next to us happy, we are not being happy. And if we are single, the probability of finding someone who is serious, it's very small. So Andrea, this person has the need to start working on himself or an inner self in a way that they need to understand when they find someone, they need already to love themselves, to take care of themselves, to know who they are, to be well with themselves. They don't need someone else to tell them how who they are or how strong they can be. They can find later on someone who uniting strength with them will make them stronger than ever.
And that's very important, because when we got married and before we got married, so I was happy already. Not by myself, I wanted to be by myself, but I was happy, I had inner peace, and then Ricardo only came to add up to that happiness. And we keep on investing in ourselves, coming every Thursday 8 p.m. We're still doing that 8 p.m. in our 2-hour love therapy sessions. That is at 232 Seven Sisters Road, Finsbury Park, London, N4 3NX. And you are our special guest to invest on yourself also.
Yeah, and it won't be different tomorrow at 8 p.m. in the address that my wife just said.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio. Real stories, real dilemmas, real solutions. Only on the Dear Love Talk Show.
Sometimes I feel lonely, but I'm not sure if that means I'm ready for a relationship. How do I know when I'm emotionally prepared?
And the question we received for the Dear Love Talk Show segment, I think has everything to do what we were just saying. Because when a person is still looking for someone to validate or to show how important they are, they feel exactly like this. They are not emotional prepared. They don't feel emotional prepared sometimes because they don't have someone saying, oh, how great you are, how capable you are, how beautiful you are, or you did it well. No. And this sounds sometimes silly because and childish sometimes, but the truth is, when a person is not emotional prepared, these things are making all the difference, and these things are neutralizing important steps in a person's life in order to succeed in a love life.
That's why when we engage in a relationship, like I was giving our example a few minutes ago, so I was already happy by myself in the sense of I didn't need someone to validate who I was before or who I was as a person, as a human being, as a professional. No, but someone that I added to my life, I chose to add to my life, came and added his own value. He didn't come to value me or to validate myself. He came to add up and for us together to build a beautiful future and something better than I was having when I was by myself. So it's not to fulfill or to fill a void. It's to add up to whom you are already, because you have your own value. You can't say or tell to yourself, oh, what am I going to do without this person? No, you have your own value, and together with another person with the same values, so it will enrich your existence.
So if you have your question, you can email us to love@uckg.org. And reminding you that this coming Thursday, tomorrow, we are going to have a very important service at 8 p.m. when a person, Andrea, is going to learn how to write their own story, because we have the power to write our own story. There's an example in the Bible of a man who wrote his own story, and we are going to share how many people at this moment they are looking or they are listening to us, and they ask, but how can I change my story? Well, tomorrow they will learn.
That's the truth. Tomorrow in the Love Therapy, 8 p.m. And if you want to send your question also, did you mention to love@uckg.org?
Yes, I mentioned.
Okay, So that's the thing. And we didn't have don't we have the participation of Quinton today? Because
Where is Quinton?
Yeah, where is he?
My
Okay. He was just waiting to be called. That's not.
I believe you will be emotionally prepared when you are happy with your own company. I don't rely on others to be happy, and most definitely I don't feel lonely with my own presence. Working on myself keeps me busy.
Oh, that's a very good one. I don't feel lonely with my own presence. That's very arrogant. Yeah, that's
why a
Quinton.
person is always alone.
That's why he's not married until this day.
Well,
Quinton.
Obviously you have to, as we always explain, you have to find the balance.
Yeah.
And the love therapy, as I was explaining, will help you how to write your own story. And always to be happy when you are alone, because yes, we need to learn how to be happy when we are alone, when there's no one around us to praise us, but also for you to build and to have the love life that you have been fighting for. Don't forget, it's tomorrow at 8 p.m. The Love Talk Show is now at the end, Andrea. We are coming back tomorrow.
It was a pleasure being here with you, and come back tomorrow with us at 10 p.m. Well, but first join us in our love therapy at 8 p.m. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We are surrounded by stories from a very young age, even before we learn to read or write. Stories shape what we hear, see, and feel. Our minds connect these dots and gradually builds a narrative. Now, take a moment to ask yourself, if you had just 1 minute to tell the story of your life, what would you say? The way we interpret what happens to us shapes who we are. Often, the issue is not what happened, but the meaning we assign to those experiences. We tend to become what we believe ourselves to be. But what if it were possible to rewrite that story? What if you could change the way you see your past and, in doing so, transform your future? This Thursday at 8 p.m. at The Love Therapy, you will have the opportunity to reflect on this and discover a new path. You can continue living the same story, or you can decide who you want to become. At 232 Seven Sisters Road, Finsbury Park, London, N4 3NX. The Love Therapy, because true love begins from within.
That's a wrap on today's Love Talk Show, where every conversation brings you closer to intelligent love. We'll be back soon with more love, more truth, and more talk. Until next time, keep practicing intelligent love.